The issue of government backdoors in crypto tools is pretty complicated. So there are a lot of advantages to security and safety of the citizens. So some countries are going to be more likely to want to do it. In other cases, though, the citizens are going to say, absolutely no way. I would rather lose life than have my privacy compromised. And so I think you're going to see a government by government set of decisions.
I don't believe the government should put backdoors into crypto. I think that it hurts the ecosystem much more broadly and causes very broad-based harm. And the government has a lot of other tools in its kit to get to access to information that it needs without weakening cryptography for all.
The short answer is, I personally am not a fan of backdoors in any way, shape, or form. Having said that, there are requirements for essentially being able to get access to data quickly. And so there's always this balance between privacy and, for example, anti-terrorism or national security needs. So I am not a fan of having backdoors in systems. I am a fan of having good collaboration between, for example, organizations and law enforcement to help us deal with real-world problems.
No, government shouldn't put backdoor crypto into technology. There does need to become a balance at some point of privacy versus expectation of safety, but I think that's such a dangerous pendulum to swing too heavily one way or the other. But backdoor crypto is not a good answer. They explored that back in the 90s with this whole Clipper chip concept, and it was proven harebrained back then. As we come closer to a quantum future as well too, putting weak crypto in there is asking for disasters, so no.
Government and backdoors and encryption, I would say absolutely not, but I think we already know that it's happened in some cases. We know that the governments have certainly encouraged some organizations to do it, and that's come out, and it's certainly not come out in a positive light for them, but I don't think that it's a requirement. I think at the end of the day that it defeats the purpose of having the encryption in the first place. If the government's going to have access to everything, then why even bother encrypting stuff in the first place?
You're asking a lot of people this question, and my guess is nobody in the tech community who are technologists will say that backdoors in crypto are a good idea. Right? We know that cryptography has to be secure. Backdoors make it less secure. And if you put a backdoor in, it can be used by your adversaries as well as your friends. So it's really less a question of whether you should or shouldn't do it, is how secure do you want your system? If you're actually worried about threats, backdoors make your system less secure.